my pleasure to introduce to you Hannah Johnson. Hannah first came across my radar screen, she was a sophomore at R.A. Long. I saw a basketball game and she was clearly one of the hardest working dominant people on the floor. And then I saw her in a volleyball game, ditto. She's had tremendous success in her sports career. She's at the University of New Mexico playing collegiate volleyball, born and raised in Longview, graduated from R.A. Long in 2011. You may have seen in the paper recently that she was named to the, I'm sorry Hannah, help me with the name of the team. The USA2. Yeah, the USA2 team. So this is a world-class volleyball player here.
All right.
Yeah.
And, but when she asked me what to talk about, I said, well, I want you to talk about that, but one thing I know about her is there's so much more. She wants to be a physical therapist, she wants to help children. She has not signed the blood oath, and she'll come and do that at Progress Center, but we'll get to that. But anyway, it's really, if you have never had the opportunity to see Division I volleyball, please treat yourself to that. It is amazing. The stuff you see on TV is slow-mo by comparison. So it's my pleasure to introduce Hannah Johnson.
Hi, I'm Hannah Johnson, like Phil said, and I'm delighted to be here, and thank you for letting me come speak to you guys today. And I'm just going to talk to you about the opportunities I've been given through volleyball. First, I'm going to give you a little background about myself. Like Phil said, I graduated from R.A. Long High School in 2011, and I was very active in my school through academics, athletics, and student government. My senior year, I was ASB president, and I was a member of the volleyball, basketball, and tennis teams, and I graduated in the top 5% of my class. During my athletic career at R.A. Long, I helped the Longview volleyball team make an appearance at state, and I also was named Greater St. Helens Most Valuable Player my senior year. And I also made back-to-back state appearances in the doubles tennis tournament my junior and senior year. When I was going into high school, I had a big decision to make. It was either what sport to play, volleyball or soccer, since both are offered in the fall. And at the time, soccer was my love. I played soccer since I was a kindergartner, and I played all the way up through middle school. And at the time, my idol was Lisa Seri, if any of you guys know who she is. And I was a die-hard University of Portland fan. My family and I went to pretty much every single game. And I had only played volleyball 2 years, my 7th and 8th grade year in middle school. So I had a very tough decision to make, and the day before tryouts, I had to sit down and make a pros and cons list, and volleyball ended up having more pros than soccer did. And this decision ended up changing my life. So I'd just like to note that my freshman year, I made JV. I made the JV volleyball team and soon became a swing player on varsity. I pretty much was a spectator on the bench, and I played here and there on both JV and varsity, but didn't have like a huge role on either team. What bothers me kind of today is high school athletes kind of are unrealistic about sports. I had no intention of making varsity when I was a freshman, and my parents made it very clear that freshmen don't usually make varsity, and so my goal was to make JV, and I would be satisfied if I made C-squad. But I've seen so many athletes come into high school and expect to make varsity, and then to be the star of the team. And if they don't make varsity, they immediately quit. And they're just like, I'm not the star, I'm just not going to play anymore. And kids feel entitled these days, and it just kind of makes, and many lack commitment and dedication. And those characteristics were the assets that helped me achieve and the success I'm sharing with you today. But all right, enough of my little soapbox about this. I'm going to get back to my volleyball experiences. I'm currently going to be a junior at the University of New Mexico, and I'm majoring in exercise science and hope to become a pediatric physical therapist. Along with going to the University of New Mexico, I'm on the women's volleyball team on a full athletic scholarship. And I know y'all are probably thinking New Mexico, that's kind of an odd place, but I know I get a lot of eyebrows raised when I tell them where I'm going to school. But as I was in high school, I never was one to think that I was going to go on and play any college sport. But it was an ambition of mine, but I never thought it would become a reality. And let me back up a bit and explain my journey to New Mexico. I was very active in college volleyball. I played since I was a 6th grader under Bill Marshall. And during my junior year of high school, I started to get letters from community colleges, NAI schools, all the way up to D2 schools. And this slowly kind of made me realize that I could live my dream of playing in college. And my parents and I sat down and we decided to make a highlight film and send it to schools all across the country. And a division school was always at the back of my mind, but I never thought that I would play at that level. I knew I had the athletic intensity and the ability to play, but I didn't know what level or for who. So I sent multiple letters out, films to schools all across the West Coast. And to be honest, I received a lot of nice rejection letters. So it was a little disheartening, but I came to realize if it wasn't meant to be, it wasn't meant to me, and I would go into school and focus on my education. But my luck slowly started to turn around. During the summer of my senior year, I was on vacation with my family in Sun River, and I got a call from the assistant coach of the University of New Mexico, and she called and said that they were really interested, they liked the film, what they saw, and wanted me to come on an official visit during the school year. And at first, I was in complete shock. I couldn't believe a Division I school was really actually interested in me. And so my dad and I flew down in October to Albuquerque, where I visited, and they wined and dined me, and they rolled out the red carpet just to try and show that UNM would be a great fit for me. I felt like royalty, and I had never gone an official visit before school, and the coaches and girls made me feel welcome. And I was told to go back home, sit on it, think for a couple of days, and decide if I really wanted to play for them. And I knew it was away from Longview, and I liked the school, the players, and I thought it was a great opportunity to see a different part of the culture, or the country, and experience different culture while playing volleyball, the sport I loved. And 3 days later, I called the head coach and I told him that I wanted to become a Lobo. Their plan for me was I was going to be a walk-on and be a freshman that year, and then I would get a full ride when I became a sophomore. And after high school, you have to go to a team camp just to kind of get you prepared. And so I went to the advanced camp, and my coaches, first thing I walked in, they came and told me that a scholarship opened up and that I would receive a full ride scholarship entering my freshman year. And again, I was thinking to myself, okay, what's happening? And just was kind of in awe again. And in August, my family and I took a road trip down to Albuquerque with all of my stuff packed up in our car and to see where I would be living for the next 4 years. And saying goodbye to my family was really tough, but soon I would be thrown into a world that there was no time to be homesick, with conditioning, weight training, practices, tournaments, matches, and traveling all across the country, and of course studying and doing school. My freshman year, my coaches chose to redshirt me, and I actually was really glad with that decision. I had many areas of the game that I needed to improve on, and Division I is an extremely fast-paced, and between high school and club, it's totally different, and then going from club to college is a completely another different level and pace of the game. And I was a little starstruck, but soon I learned the ropes of the game, and even though I redshirted, I practiced, I went to every game, I traveled, I dressed down, and I was sat on that bench, and I didn't play in a game, but I kept a mean clipboard. So, which means I pretty much was a great statistician. My coaching staff wanted me to analyze all aspects of the game to prepare me for my future role as a Lobo setter. And I never thought volleyball would open so many doors, but I have experiences I never would have imagined I would have done before I was 20 years old. The summer after my freshman year, my team, we traveled to Italy. And we played over there for 2 weeks. We played against the Italian junior national team, the Slovenian junior national team, and a few pro teams from Austria. And while we were there, we got to do a lot of sightseeing. I went to Rome, and I got to see the Colosseum, the Vatican, the Sistine Chapel. and we traveled to Venice as well, which was really amazing. And I loved Italy. I loved eating all the pasta and pizzas, and I was introduced to gnocchi, which is my favorite meal now, and gelato. You can't go wrong with gelato. So in that same summer, I also was invited to travel to China and play with kind of a select team of collegiate volleyball athletes across the country. And many of these girls were first team, second team, and honorable mention All-Americans during their collegiate careers. And I pretty much was the team mascot. They call me Baby Duck, Greenhorn, and because I was the youngest girl on the team by at least 4 or 5 years. So we played the top professional teams in China. Most of the girls, the professional teams we played, some of their girls were on the Olympic team, but they weren't playing with us because the Summer Olympics was that same year. But I got to travel to Beijing, to Tiananmen Square. I got to walk on the Great Wall, and I got to see the bird's nest as well, where the 2008 Olympics were, I believe. And I never would have imagined seeing 2 7 of the worlds in one summer, let alone seeing 2 in my lifetime. Traveling also opened my eyes to the world. It made me realize how fortunate I am to live in the United States. There are so many experiences in China and Italy that we take for granted here. And it just kind of made me grateful that I get to live in a free country like this. The experience playing overseas improved my IQ, volleyball IQ, and court game. And the volleyball experiences prepared me for my upcoming season and for the significant playing time that I would have. Another opportunity that has provided me is the USA National Volleyball Olympic Development Team. And each year in early February, the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs, the USA Volleyball hosts tryouts for players who have both finished their college career and also who are still playing in college, and they host tryouts for the Olympic team and for the A2 national team. And with the A2 national team, it kind of serves as a stepping stone to kind of put your name in the mix for when you are when you finish your eligibility in college, so you can try out for the Olympic team. And I've been fortunate enough to try out for the past 2 years, and each year about 300 athletes participate in the tryouts, and it's a 3-day tryout that lasts a weekend. The Olympic coaching staff runs the tryouts, and they help select the athletes. And as a freshman, I had 0 expectations of anything. I just was there to get more touches on the ball and just kind of get experience while I was redshirting still. And but while I was there my freshman year, Michael Phelps was actually in the same training pool as he was getting ready for the Summer Olympics. I didn't get to meet him, but I think I saw him swimming maybe. I just want to see that. But,
how small is that ski?
I was only 1 out of 11 freshmen participating in the tryout. But then this past February, I went to the tryouts again, and with all the and I had collegiate playing experience, so I was a little more confident in myself, and I enjoyed playing with these talented girls. But this is kind of how the tryouts worked. We first were separated by college eligibility, so if you have 1, 2, 3, 4 years left. And then they put you into positions, setters, hitters, defensive specialists, middle blockers, so on like that. And we had a lot of conditioning drills, skills training, endurance. They kind of tested us on agility and like our vertical, stuff like that. And we did a lot of scrimmaging and just gameplay. I felt confident with my performance and effort just because I had experience playing and kind of running my team. And but then again, I had little expectations of making the team. I just enjoyed making new friends and talking with these amazing players and that I had watched on TV and idolized as I had grown up. But 6 weeks later, I was notified from Team USA and the Olympic volleyball coach, Coach Cry, that I was selected for the A2 national team, and again, I was in shock. At first, I thought they had emailed the wrong person, not the wrong Hannah. I just was like, are you sure? But I had just returned from spring break from being here, and I was in Albuquerque. I got the email, and I was ecstatic. And then right as I got the email, I called my parents, and we just kind of laughed, just like, can you believe this? Like, seriously. But there were 50 setters at the tryouts this past year, and only 8 had made it. And there was only 48 girls out of the 300 people that tried out that made this A2 team. and I just was honored. And one of my teammates, Chantel Riddle, she was an All-American honorable mention this year, and she had also been selected, and this was her second time being a part of it. So it was kind of a big deal that two of us had made it, let alone on the same team. So we were very excited about that. But then this year we were training for 2 weeks, and we went to Dallas, and we trained at University of Texas, Dallas, and then we competed at the U.S. Junior Nationals in Dallas, Texas. There were about 1,200 teams participating, ranging from 12-year-olds all the way through 18-year-olds. And then pretty much it was like Christmas when we were there. We were spoiled with all the gear we got. We got Team USA sweats, coats, shoes, knee pads, ankle braces, tons of shirts, and it just was kind of cool just to have all this Team USA gear that you were given. And then we soon began bonding with our new teammates, and we immediately started doing our training sessions. This was probably my favorite part of the experience, just making new friends and meeting all these girls. I made friends with players from Louisville, Michigan, UCLA, Wisconsin, Florida State, University of Oregon, University of Hawaii, Loyola Marymount, Colorado State, Illinois. There's so many other universities. And I must add, for some unknown reason, I was selected to write a blog for the A2 experience, and I had to keep a daily journal, and they published it on the Team USA website and the University of New Mexico website as well. And if anyone knows me, they kind of laugh because writing goes way beyond my comfort level. And after a week of training, they divided us into 4 equal teams, 12 girls on each team. And we started our tournament at the Junior Nationals. It was really fun. I had girls that could hit, and they could hit hard. The defense was amazing. There was dig after dig after dig. Nothing hit the floor. And it was just really fun to be a part of. I was playing with girls at the highest level, and each A2 team, there was 4 teams. There was the red, white, blue, and gold team. I was a part of the red team, and we participated in a round-robin tournament, so we all played each other without really worrying about the scores or who won. It just was kind of for seeding. Then my red team ended up playing for the bronze medal match, and I played behind a fantastic senior setter from the University of Hawaii. And but she injured her foot on the last day, and so I ended up having to play the entire match. And needless to say, I was a little nervous playing against a senior setter with 3 years of experience, and I had 1. So I was really nervous, kind of like deer in headlights, and I had some pretty big shoes to fill. But my team was very supportive, and once I warmed up, it was like I had played my entire life. It was a fun playing with and against these girls, and we were playing with teams. And after playing, we did a lot of homework. A lot of us were doing summer school, just trying to get ahead for the fall so we could take a little bit of easier classes. But we had a little bit of downtime, and we got to do a little bit of sightseeing. Like my team went to Dealey Plaza. We got to see where JFK was assassinated. And we also got to go out to dinner, eat at some really cool restaurants, and just make new friendships, and also be ambassadors of the game of volleyball while representing our universities. And overall, it was a surreal experience wearing the uniform that had USA written on it. It sent chills down my spine, and being able to represent my country in some way or another. And then playing volleyball has opened doors and provided opportunities for this young girl from the little town of Longview, Washington. I've traveled all around the United States, went to beautiful Italy, I went to China, and represented the United States playing the game of volleyball. Most importantly, because of my hard work, dedication to the sport, and volleyball skills, I'm receiving a first-class education at the University of New Mexico, preparing me for the future in pediatric physical therapy. I look forward to the 2013 volleyball season as I step in the role of team captain. Phil told me you would like to enjoy seeing a few photos of my experience, and here's a little slideshow I put together. And so this is my team, this is my team photo from this year. Here I am in this corner, and this is our logo 2013, and pretty much all of these girls will be coming back next year. We only lost 2 girls from here. This was our senior setter, and yeah, this is my team. And then here I am at the U.S. Olympic Training Center, and just kind of want to pretend like I won a gold medal. This is the front. I just thought it was kind of cool. They kind of set it up in a flag, and It was really cold that day too. There was a lot of snow. So here's us at the tryouts. We did a lot of hitting lines. Here I am setting, and they kind of had us designated in different colors. Setters were pink, outside hitters were, or middles were red, outside hitters were white, and then defensive specialists or liberos were in blue shirts. And here I am serving, and my parents kind of thought this was kind of a cool picture as I was like serving into the American flag. So. And then here we are scrimmaging again, just kind of in game-like situations. And this is Karch Karai. He's kind of like the Mike Krzyzewski of volleyball. He's just a huge name. He's probably the greatest volleyball player that has ever lived. And it was just kind of a cool experience to be able to be coached under him for 3 days. And here's my team for the A2. This is our red team. And it was just really fun. Here I am right here. And this is our red team. And here we are at the Dealey Plaza. It's kind of ironic that we're smiling where one of our presidents was killed. But this is us where the X was. And then here are my parents right here watching me play, and here are my grandparents as well. We came and watched as we played at Dallas. This is my teammate. We had just played against each other, and she beat us the first time, but we beat her when it really mattered. So, yeah. And sorry, it's kind of blurry, but this is us before we walked out, and here I am again. And we kind of had to walk out, wave to the crowd, wave back, and then we went and shake hands with our opponent before we played. And then here we are lining up. If we weren't playing, we had to stand at the very end of the bench, so cheering on our teammates. And then here we are walking again to get ready to play. And then we kind of were set up in we had stands all over, and so there's girls playing the entire, while we're playing. They didn't like have a designated time that they stopped the tournament. So girls would come and play before they warmed up or after they played. And they had a nice little setup for us, for people to spectate while they were waiting for a match or they were done playing. And then here I am, we're playing, I'm about to set, probably waiting for a serve. And you can't really tell, but I was like a midget compared to everyone there. They were all the girls there are 6'3" or over, so they were giants. And then here I am about to serve, about out of game this is. So, and then we have a team huddle, and this was my coach, can't really see him, his name is Bill Neville. He's a huge volleyball advocate. He's created a lot of different volleyball practices, and is a really big international guy, and he used to coach at the University of Washington, so I had a lot to talk to him about when we were there. So. And then here's my team my freshman year after we had won one of our tournaments. And so, yep, this is my team. And then here's a few photos of me playing, setting, and jumping up, celebrating after a point. Here are my grandparents. They after a game. Don't have a lot of photos of me playing, but they were after a tournament. So. And then here's my team when we were in Italy. This is our big group that went, and we were at the Coliseum. And then here's us on the Spanish Steps in Rome. This is us at the Trevi Fountain. And us at the Duomo in Milan, and they were getting it all set up because the Pope was supposed to be there that same time. And a few of my teammates actually got to see him driving. I went back to the hotel, so I was kind of bummed. Here's me at the Trevi Fountain again. And then this is at the top of St. Peter's Church, and it's called St. Peter's Square, which is kind of ironic with the circle, but we walked up all the way to the top of the dome, so that was really interesting. And then this is me in China. This is the entire team that went. My team was in the blue and the other team was in the red. And then here's my team. And just a little note, this girl, she's actually playing on the U.S. Olympic national team right now. And she was the National Player of the Year, Elena Bergsma. Most of all these girls were first-team All-Americans, and she played in the national championship last year, and she played in the national championship the year before. So I was playing with some very good volleyball players. And then here's my team in China, West Corner USA here again. And then this was our banquet at the very end. We got a trophy for playing and also got little trinkets just for good luck and good fortune for the rest of our time playing volleyball from the Chinese team. This is us at Tiananmen Square. And this is us in the Great Wall of China. This is my coach and my other teammate who went to China with me. And that is it.
Oh, wow.
Not much you gave to my mug, but we're kind of dubious about doing that because we know where you're going. Actually, that's not true. Phil's not going to give it to you. But I am going to give you an application for the Lions Club. Not because I think you're ready to do that right now. You always want to do that. But as you go through life, you're going to have opportunities to look at a lot of different things for the sake of the country and the world. And you'll find the Lions International is really a part of it throughout the world. And so I give this to you that I know that you will keep this in the back of your mind and in case you look at something, think about it. When the time is right, you will come back to Lions. For everyone. Thank you.
I want to put her on the spot.
Okay.
On the 6th, we're going to have the Kaiser doctors playing the Peace Health doctors, and we need somebody unbiased. How about you accepting that?
All right.
Because I think I'm a little biased because I belong to Peace Health.
Oh yes, I would, but I'm going to be back at school, so.
Good try. Good try.
Okay, it was a blue ticket. For $348 big dollars. The number is 849651.
Kennedy hit 5 out.
George?
George. Can't be George.
Should we speak out?
Politician. Retired politician.
Because of time, while he's doing that, we're going to give the red ticket number. The red ticket number is 882332. 2332.
At least I'm consistent.
Anybody? Aha! Barney.
Where do you want it? Relay for life. Good for life.
Do you remember who was talking about the
That's Gary and Finelli.
Tom.
Bummer,
Tough luck. That's so fun giving you back time. Because I know it's coming back.
Eventually it will.
Yes, pick up after ourselves.